Estreia no Brasil nesta semana um dos filmes que saem na frente na corrida pelas premiações de Hollywood. Os Rejeitados estreia nesta quinta, dia 11, e já traz na bagagem 2 Globos de Ouro. A cerimônia aconteceu neste último domingo e premiou Paul Giamatti como o melhor ator em comédia e Da'Vine Joy Randolph, melhor atriz coadjuvante. E a gente conversou com os dois numa entrevista exclusiva. Olha só.
That's another detention! Do you think I want to be babysitting you? No, I was praying your mother would pick up the phone or your father would arrive in a helicopter or a flying saucer. My father's dead.
Uma comédia cheia de drama, tal qual é a vida.
That's been left behind at Christmas.
Com personagens que têm muito de pessoas que conhecemos.
There's nobody here, okay? You stay out of my way and I'll stay out of yours.
De sentimentos que compartilhamos. Uma história doída e linda ao mesmo tempo, com o gosto agridoce do cotidiano, seus encontros e desencontros, amadurecimento, solidão, amigos e família. A trama transita e dá foco aos esquecidos de alguma forma, que sofrem com corações apertados e partidos. Uma imersão nostálgica que nos leva aos anos de 1970. A um colégio interno onde alguns desses rejeitados estão fadados a passar as festas de fim de ano juntos. Sem nada em comum, a princípio. Um aluno, um professor e a cozinheira juntam suas solidões. Da'Vine Joy Randolph interpreta Mary, uma mulher dolorida pela perda do filho na guerra.
No, a cup of tea is fine. I've eaten already.
How was your reaction when you read for the first time the script? Did you try to find someone like your character? How do you prepare for that?
I was excited when I read the script to see just how full and detailed and nuanced it was. That was very exciting. Many women, I would say, are references, both in my own personal life and women in history and average Joe regular people. I feel like I wanted her to be the mother, the aunt, the sister, you know what I mean? This feminine personality that shows up, I hope, in everyone's life. And the neighbor, whoever, but just this person who, in some cases, potentially silently suffers while they still trudge along and, take on life. I wanted to pay homage to these women.
Same deal with the bananas foster.
Da'Vine, que também é cantora, nos revelou que um dos maiores desafios do papel foi ter que fumar muito, já que a personagem está sempre com o cigarro na mão.
She smokes a lot. She's an avid smoker. And then on top of it, due to her situation and the grief, she's smoking even more than usual. So, he really wanted to make sure that it was authentic and real. And so, after me getting the job, maybe like 2 days later, he shipped 2 large cases of cigarettes, fake ones, for me for over the next 5 weeks. Get accustomed to it. And then maybe like in the first 2 days of filming, I was like, this is not gonna work. It looked fake on camera. And so I tried out a whole bunch of different ones and was able to land on American Spirits, as they're very light, yet still a real cigarette. And so I went with those and was just praying I didn't get addicted, which thank goodness I didn't. But the moment we wrapped, I was like, I'm done with cigarettes. I'm done.
Já o ator Paul Giamatti empresta seu nome ao personagem. Paul, neste enredo, é um daqueles professores temidos, que todo mundo já teve um.
How was it like with you? Did you remind some professor that you had, teacher that you had?
It reminded me of teachers I had, and my father was a teacher, and my mother was a teacher. So my grandparents were teachers, but it reminded me of colleagues of theirs, people that I grew up with, that, you know, they're friends of my parents. So there was a ton of people and things that it reminded me of, yeah, for sure.
Any inspiration from someone?
I had one particular teacher who was a kind of angry little man with a comb over and a mustache, and he drank a lot. He was clearly had been drinking a lot, and he smoked a lot, and he was very sarcastic. But he was actually very focused on doing a good job of teaching, and he was actually a really good teacher. As much as he was an odd, angry little man, he was really kind of great. And I remember him oddly with a lot of fondness. So, yeah.
Os Rejeitados também marca o reencontro de Paul Giamatti com o aclamado cineasta Alexander Payne. O diretor já assinou produções como Nebraska, Os Descendentes, e os dois fizeram juntos o inesquecível Sideways, entre umas e outras. Lançado há exatos 20 anos, o filme se tornou um clássico e é outro grande exemplar das histórias simples, que nos comovem, emocionam e nos levam para dentro da gente mesmo.
And how was the reunion with Alexander Payne?
It was very nice.
Have you changed, both of you, as an actor and as a director, in these 2 decades?
He directed this movie differently, and I don't know that that's because he changed, particularly as a director. He was still the same great director that he is, but technically this was a little bit different. Other than that, he was more congenial even than he was before, and he was more... He mellowed a little bit. He actually has mellowed a little bit, and which was nice. Not that he wasn't before. So I mean, it was even more relaxed and more kind of like, you know, but it was shot a little differently. I don't know about myself. I'd like to think that I had mellowed a little bit. I'd like to think that I was more in command of what I was doing. I was certainly less anxious. When I did Sideways, Tom and I, the other actor, were very nervous about it. We were pretty much convinced we were going to get fired. We thought there's no way that anybody's going to tolerate us doing this movie for very long. And about 2 weeks in, when we hadn't been fired, we sort of realized we wouldn't, but we still didn't relax that much. We were very nervous about it.
Na época, Sideways teve 5 indicações ao Oscar e levou a estatueta de melhor roteiro adaptado. Agora, as expectativas se repetem. Tanto o filme quanto o diretor, Alexander Payne, e os atores Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa e Dave Vine correm na frente da disputa pelo Oscar. E claro que perguntamos a eles como é essa emoção de estarem sendo cotados para a maior premiação do cinema mundial.
You know, it makes me uncomfortable in some ways. In particular, in reference to myself, it makes me uncomfortable. For the first time, though, in a way, in regard to the movie and the other actors and Alexander and the writer, I feel very enthusiastic about it. I really kind of hope that that stuff comes through for it, because I think it should get recognition like that. For myself, it makes me uncomfortable. But for the rest of it, I'm actually very excited that maybe those kinds of things will happen.
I'm so grateful and honored, and I'm just so joyous that people are receiving it so well, you know. It's not why I do it, but when you do have these moments, it just encourages me. It encourages me to keep going, and that there's something there, and that I shouldn't give up on it, and continue to pursue it and dedicate myself to this craft.
The Holdovers.